Hey guys, this is CholeraSC bringing you the second sample game of Tossgirl playing amateur online, and I have to say we so rarely see Tossgirl that I'm definitely enjoying doing these casts, seeing an original face in the pro gaming scene. And since she's played for 3 hours on this episode of Live Battle, it's kind of like picking chocolates out of a box of chocolates, like what games I'm actually going to commentate on. I think this one's enjoyable though, so hopefully you enjoy this little praline from Tossgirl. That's right, she is so sweet that her games are like pieces of chocolate that melt in your mouth. Anyway, so thanks for everyone who's responded to my second Cholera Puzzler. Of course, the question was, how come Hydralisks are so powerful, and how can they be better than Marines at shooting down spaceships? Well, I think the best answers came from two schools of thought about propulsion. First off, everyone basically said, or most good people said, most good answers I think said that force equals mass times acceleration. The standard F equals ma in physics, and that the mass of a Hydralisk spine is much bigger than the mass of a bullet from a Marine. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Now, there's two schools of thought on how the Hydralisks launch them so quickly. The first school of thought went with the fact that Hydralisks may have many more muscles than humans do. Something like 4,000 muscles in the description from StarCraft 2 compared to a tenth of that for humans, and hence using all these precise, strong muscles, they're able to launch the spines at an incredibly fast speed, almost the speed of, or the same speed as a bullet fired from a gun. The other school of thought is that, like some insects, they're able to produce strange chemicals that, we would consider certainly laboratory made, and that possibly it was some kind of jet fuel chemical that possibly they distill from Vespian gas. That's why they cost Vespian gas, and that this jet fuel is what they shoot out, and that's the green splash you see as those spines are launched. So great answers here. And by the way, she is going to be on the 12 o'clock location. Of course, this is Python once again. She's fighting a random opponent, Tossgirl is, and we'll have to see what race it is. She's actually going for a barracks and refinery here, so despite the fact that she doesn't know what race her opponent is, she's going to be starting with the tech build. This is appropriate 2/3 of the time against a Terran and Protoss, but it could be disastrous against a Zerg player, and she's only now sending the scout out after going for, I believe, 12 racks, 12 refinery. And so she's going to be a little bit of a risk. If there was a 5 pool, I think she would actually go down if there was a very lucky 5 pool, but she's just going to have to risk that, of course, in exchange for getting a much better opening against a Protoss or a Terran. And I think it's interesting to see how the programmers react to strange situations like this. Of course, random is not one of the choices for any pro gamers to play in real StarCraft, in the Pro League or any kind of pro game. They have to choose their races, and if they're going to play off race, they have to let officials know 7 days in advance or something like that. So there's no surprises in terms of race. And this time she's guessed correctly because the opponent is a Protoss user, and the Protoss has actually gone for a Zealot rush here, so she still is not out of the woods. Yes, the Protoss player Red has gone for a 2-gate rush, and he's in the closest position possible. So Tossgirl is forced to put up a bunker here. She's got a factor coming in, but since her barracks is up fairly late, she only has 1 Marine out so far. And she's going to need to get that bunker up as soon as possible to defend herself before she can get that first Vulture out. Meanwhile, she's going to continue to scout inside the base. I think this was a good response by the Protoss player, going for a fast rush against her, hopefully catching her off guard. And this is what I mean. When you're playing against someone who's much better than you, you have to go for something strange. You can't play a standard game. You have to go for a rush, or, like I was saying in the last game, the Zerg player should have gone for a Lurker rush, although I have no idea what he ended up doing because I didn't see a single tech unit. But anyway, here we're seeing a Zealot rush from the Red player here, the Red amateur. Looks like he's having some terrible micro though, because all he's doing is running into the range of the bunker, which he should be able to avoid if he just ran and tried to pick off the refinery. I don't think there's, I think there's actually space behind the refinery, so don't know what the Protoss player is doing there with his Zealots, but not much. And now the first Vulture is going to come out pretty soon now for Tossgirl, and with that, the Zealot rush is pretty much going to fail. So unfortunately, a good idea, but poor execution from the Toss player here. And Tossgirl is showing that she is afraid of no tosses. I would love to see Tossgirl play or possibly date Mantos, Reach, of course. I think they would produce some very, very handsome children and some very talented StarCraft children. Just my opinion, that Tossgirl and the Mantos would make a great couple. Anyway, other great answers to my Hydralisk dilemma, Hydralisk puzzler, included things, people saying things like their spines contain a lot of acid or some kind of corrosive or explosive, and hence the high amounts of damage they can do, and hence their consumption of Vespian gas. Also, that's an explanation for why they need Vespian gas. Oh, very nice Vulture Micro here from Tossgirl, and this is showing why Protosses have to rush quickly and make their rushes count if they're going to go for Zealot rushes, because otherwise you're just going to get out-microed by the first Vulture that comes out. And very nice, the other Vulture is trapped in there in the factory, so it can take free pot shots. And looks like Tossgirl is actually going for massive Vultures here, no tank out yet, and she might just be trying to end this game here with just pure Vultures. We'll have to see. She certainly, it looks like she's not building any tanks, and she's upgrading. She's, done with mine upgrade now, and these mines are going to help her clear the entrance of these Zealots. The Zealots have no choice but to run away or to get blown up. Oh man, this is a terrible day to be a Zealot here, and facing a girl's relentless Vulture attacks. That's just humiliating for those Zealots. Their egos must be damaged at this point. And certainly Mantoss' Zealots are probably watching the stands and laughing at them. But anyway, so we're gonna see Tossgirl moving her Marines out. In fact, she's gonna be going for a big counterattack here with everything she's got. She's throwing in everything she has, including the Vultures and the Marines from her bunker. We'll have to see how successful this is, and we'll have to see how many Dragoons there are from the Protoss player. Protoss player looks like he was thinking about doing an expansion, but that is not a wise idea after your rush has failed like it did. He's gonna need some Dragoons. Here's the Dragoons, but they don't have detection. Oh, you can't run to the mine. Oh, that's absolutely not what the Protoss player needed to do. And you could just hear those Mantosses, the Mantosses manlots are just laughing in the crowd there. Reach's manlots are laughing at the poor control of this Protosses units, and he's going to lose his pylon. He's lost another Dragoon, and pretty much this is a good game here. Tossgirl is going to win the game with just pure Vultures here, showing off a little bit of her micro, which of course is going to be better than amateurs. Oh, that was actually some poor micro there. She lost like 5 of her Vultures there, rather needlessly to her own mind. But looks like the Protoss player was thinking about going into a DT drop, interesting enough, but I think he has 3 gateways, so the Protoss player obviously is very amateurish. Went for 3 gateways, went for a little bit of everything and not much of anything, and so he was pretty much doomed to start with. Unfortunately, not very stiff competition for Tossgirl. I actually sort of just clicked and I saw the shuttle, to be honest, and I thought this game was more exciting than it was, but this Protoss player, unfortunately, is just no match for any pro gamer, and that is, of course, what Tossgirl is, a pro gamer. I might have to do one more cast to make up for this poor game here. We'll have to see. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for more of my casts after, of course, this Protoss player GG's, because this Zerg player, Protoss player GG's, what am I saying? Because I will give out the third Cholera Puzzler in the 3rd or 4th game, if there is a 4th game I cast. But anyway, the next game will be, I think, a 2v2 player that Tossgirl and the host, Jung-Mi, play with one another. And at this point, I'm just going to wait until the GG comes so I can end this video. There's no real need for, and here's GG coming from the noob. I have to say, that was noobish play from the Red Protoss and disappointing. But of course, watching Tossgirl play is not disappointing. Just to see the beautiful face in the lower right of the screen is quite impressive. And it's certainly exciting to see some girls play StarCraft on the pro scene. And we're going to be seeing more of that coming up very soon. Thanks for watching.